Chris, grassroots football, and interesting in talking to you to find out that you had great experience playing weekends.
Well, yes, I did. Firstly, it's great for me to be here, and I think anybody in my position and the fact that I'm been managing and coaching at a different level, but it's great for an opportunity to put something back. And what it does do is that you look at some of these kids here, and you look at your own grandchildren, and it's you're reliving it again. And the times when as a young kid, I'd go out and play in the streets for as long as possible, every day, every weekend, for as much possible. And those were the days, fortunately for us, unfortunately now, where, your mum would have to come and drag you in off the streets. And we played as much as possible. And I then went on to play for local teams. I was speaking about on one occasion where I had 3 teams that I played for at a weekend, and sometimes even a fourth. And those were the days where you just couldn't get enough of it.
And what shines through is I don't think you can play the game at your level or be involved if you don't love it.
If you don't have a real passion and an enthusiasm for it, and I also spoke earlier about in my time that some players who didn't make it, or some players who didn't have enough, and it's not a given right for everybody to feel the same way, but the very large majority of people that are in this game is because they find it difficult to live without it. And it's what it means. It takes over their life. They have a social life, but it takes over their life. And there's a real passion within football people to be part of it and enjoy it. And I think we learn the longer we're in it that you've got to enjoy their moments. And that's why it's also good to be at events like this, where you can see the real fun of the game.
And that's the key, isn't it? Because we can all play it. You played at the top level where it was vital. Whatever level we play, anybody of any ability can play this great game.
Well, anybody of any ability, young boys, young girls. You look at the park on a Sunday morning. It's also an opportunity for we've spoke about the ones that are playing at a certain level. It's a sport that you can participate in. That's even as a young kid and you're not the best player, you can still participate. Yeah. You can participate in coaching sessions. You can have the fun and enjoyment. All you want to do is to make sure you're getting some encouragement from it. Not everybody can be a Messi, and the incredible large majority are not. But you've got to get some enjoyment out of it, and that's the social environment that you're in and you want to be part of.
I've always wanted to ask a coach a question. I've got to ask you. When a team's at 0-0, I'm watching them on the telly, and I watch them in my job at BRMB, or they're 1-0 down, they don't half get the ball into the opposition's half quick. And I always think, when I asked the manager once, he said, because it's the easiest way to score a goal, that's what. And I'm saying, well, if that's the case, why don't you start a game like that?
Well, that's always a good point and always a good question. The facts are is that you can't play that way for 90 minutes, and the facts are also is that if you're setting up your team to play that way, then what you're going to have is you're going to have an opposition that are going to tactically look to play a different way, which will
outthink you,
and probably also which is fairly sort of fundamental is that most coaches and managers generally will have a certain way that they want to play and have a way that they believe that you should play. Their managers are very, very, very capable, as I was at times, of changing the style of play. I looked at the way that we played at Newcastle last season, and at times we would. At times we'd get more direct, particularly with Big Andy Carroll up front, and what we had Kevin Nolan breaking from midfield. So you are capable of changing that one. But I think one, it's about a philosophy and the way that you want to play, and two, it's a hard game to play that way week in, week out. 90 minutes per game.
What's the key in the modern game? I mean, you've managed at the top level. Is it all about desire? I mean, I remember an ice hockey coach saying never underestimate the power of desire over ability. Desire
is a massive part of the game, but one thing that these top players have in abundance, well, they have an ability, but we can, or or people can speak about, and they do on a regular basis, speak about the sort of money that they earn, as if that's some relevance to their performance. Well, it's not. You're either got desire as a player or you don't. And the players very much that reach the top, one thing that they all have, they have desire, they have professionalism. You speak to some of the top coaches, your Sir Alex's, your Wengers, that on a regular basis deal with the top players with the teams that they have, and that's one thing they'll always say. They're great professionals. They do everything that's right for the game. No bigger example than Ryan Giggs.
Yeah, for sure.
And the players from them top clubs. That's what they have. They have a great desire, but of course they have great talent on top of that.
Ryan Giggs would play the same for 50p a week or 100 grand a week, wouldn't he? He'd play the same way.
Well, I don't know for 50p a week, but
the point is
but it's not money related.
That's my point. Yeah.
And Ryan Giggs would be the same player if he was earning half the money or a quarter the money, because you don't get where he has got and the top players have got without making all of the sacrifices that go with it.
Chris, we look forward to working with you on the show. Thanks very much.
Very much so. Look forward to it.
Cheers, Chris. Thanks. Top man.